What's good, family? It's your boy Old Soul J, and I'm back with another video. Don't let them fool you. I'm seeing something before it becomes very prominent. I'm seeing something develop, and honestly, I believe a lot of times certain things develop, and just in terms of the media, just trends that are going on that are set up to hold us back. Now, when it comes to consciousness, esoteric, metaphysics, there's nothing new under the sun. People have been studying, teaching metaphysics, woke information long before the internet. So now what they call the new age spirituality, a lot of people get that mixed up with real esoteric knowledge. You will hear a lot of religious people call anything outside of religion that's spiritual new age. Now, new age is completely different. I need to come up with a term to call these beings, these energies, these powers that be, because I don't want to use the cliche sayings, or I want to be a little bit discreet, but y'all know you should probably catch on to what I'm saying now. But they purposely, just the same way how the CIA, everyone knows, there's no secret now, how the CIA put crack into the neighborhoods back in the 80s to destroy the community. As you may know, this was around the time where the Black Panthers were making waves. Change was highly called for, or people were taking action towards change. Big things were happening. They felt like they were losing control. They felt like they were losing power. Now, there are many situations like this. Just how the CIA also coined the term conspiracy theory. They made that term up. So really, what that was when people were exposing the truth, they would just say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. So automatically, you're teaching people to just look at it as if it's make-believe, as if it's things that people are making up. They're just theories. When no, the proof is in our faces, and they try to hide it. And that is also they just do it very strategically, and that's a strong tactic to do so. Now, this video, I'm just using examples right now of how this has happened in the past. There's usually someone or something behind the scenes. Just like how, here's another one for you. Black Lives Matter was a movement that was started by a white man. Now you may think that doesn't really matter, right? Because I recently made a video talking about we're one race and how we shouldn't even focus on race. So you might be thinking, if you've seen that video, you might be thinking, why are you even bringing that up? It shouldn't matter. If we're one race, it shouldn't have mattered if a white man started it. Whenever big movements, big trends start going on that seem like it's for the greater good, a lot of times it's to distract you from something else. You screaming to the oppressor that you matter, protesting and things of that nature, never changes anything. People don't know how to take effective action. Protesting is an action, but it's not effective. So that's another example of how movements and trends start to go on, and they're disguised as positive things when they're really distractions or meant to lead people in the wrong way. This is why they also say the devil is deceiving. They tell you what they're doing for karma reasons, because if I tell you what I'm doing, I'm getting your consent if you allow it. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because I see a new trend that is coming amongst us, and they're using the fact that in the new world, in the new age, people are opening their eyes to the fact that our subconscious mind creates our reality, and that we can truly manifest whatever we want. And that the thing is that the matrix is set up so thoroughly, so strategically, so intelligently, that our minds have been conditioned from birth that takes us away from our power. So now that we've learned this, it's hard for an adult who's just learned that to tap into that power, at least in the beginning, right? But it's really about the future generations that we teach them. So from birth, they're conditioned the right way, and it is so on and so forth. Now, the way they're using the new movement of, and this is fate, this is destiny, this is always supposed to happen, this is the natural evolution of the way things are and the way things are supposed to be. People are waking up and realizing our power, and that creates the possibility of us getting back to a time which they keep from us, because history is majority a lie anyway, but getting back to a time where our people knew their power. There's nothing new under the sun. These things that we are relearning as a human race were always prevalent. They were always a thing. There was a time where Past generations knew these things. These were a part of the culture. These things weren't a secret, but they stripped it away from us. They erased it, the real history, created their own history. So there's no documentation or there's no sight of it. They try to erase it from the world and create their own world and mold us in the way that they want, right? But they knew that wasn't going to last forever. So now that we are entering times where we are opening our minds, they are using the fact that we can influence and create our reality and awaken to new heights. They're using that to trick people into being lazy, into not taking any action at all. Now you may ask, how are they doing this? I'm about to tell you. So it is true that being a slave for the system, working hard for the system throughout history and generations, a lot of people have not been properly compensated. They have not been getting fresh fruits for the labor that they've given to the system, because a lot of times they don't even know that the system is made to keep them in shackles, to keep them slaves, to keep them below. Now, here's what people fail to realize. Discipline does not go anywhere just because we realize that we were working hard for the wrong things or the wrong people. Now, yes, life, you can be abundant and it can be fun, right? It could be quote unquote easy, at least at some point. You have to go through certain stages in order to get to a certain level. So this whole trend about, oh, you could get rich and not work hard at all, there's two very negative things that you fall under, that you start to believe by listening to this. One, you don't realize that it's really just a sales tactic to get you to buy into something. And then when you fail, because you didn't understand that it actually takes a lot of discipline and intentional action that you weren't taught, you just become another number to make somebody else's pockets fatter. That's one. And two, and this is what only the new age thing pushes this. You'll never hear about this if you ever really study true metaphysics, true conscious topics. They'll never tell you to just say affirmations, think positively, and things will fall in your lap. Now, the way you think definitely affects the energy that you're in on a daily basis. Absolutely. The mood that you're in, the type of people, the mood that they're in around you, and the type of people you attract and things of that nature. Absolutely. But nothing worth having comes easy, ever. You have to get in the frequency. And because you are so conditioned throughout your whole life to do the opposite of that, to get in the frequency of living, of true freedom, of living a life that you truly want to live, it's going to take discipline. Discipline is not easy. So when people say working hard, when people say they work hard for something, it's not about physical labor. Of course you don't have to do actual physical labor to achieve your goals. Of course you don't have to do actual physical labor to be abundant. Of course you don't have to do actual real physical labor or clock in and work hella hours for someone else to be successful and abundant. Of course you don't have to take that route. But what you're not getting is that you will never accomplish anything without discipline. And they are teaching us there's a movement going on that undermines discipline. And I'm telling y'all right now, it's a trick. Nobody who's ever done anything in this world did it without any discipline. That's what hard work is. That's what all the great ones talk about, or the most successful people talk about when it comes to hard work, is discipline. Now, being disciplined, you could reach a mental state where that's not that hard for you. Sure. But the average person, majority of people, 9 times out of 10, it is very hard to be very disciplined over a long period of time, because we're faced with resistance. We're met with resistance through our minds all the time. So do not be fooled to think that you could just get rich quick and easy when you don't deserve it. There are billions of people on the planet. Nothing happens by accident or by chance. Even if it seems that way on a surface level, there's a deeper meaning behind everything. The divine is always present. God is within all of us. Everything is part of God's plan. You've heard that before. Every single thing. You can't just choose when you want to decide that that's the truth, because that doesn't make any sense. It's always a part of God's plan. So why would God or the source or the divine reward you if you don't deserve it? Now, there's so many different ways to go about it. There's so many things that play a factor on what you get. But the whole point of this video is that I can see coming from a mile away that there's a movement going on, or there's a movement coming to tell you to not do nothing. And you know that's a trap, because later down the line, that's going to make you fall right back into their hands, right back into their laps, because then you're just going to depend on them for everything. Sure, maybe we will break down the system. Maybe more people as the years go by become more and more conscious, and we start taking back our power in terms of realizing, or at least getting out of the matrix, or just fighting the system overall. But then it's going to be left with a whole bunch of people who don't know what to do with themselves. And if you stay stagnant, life keeps going, and then you're going to become dependent, because you'll know no other way of what to do. You have to still figure out what you're going to do. You got to do things. You have to be physical in the physical world some type of way. Even if, whether that's just me sitting in front of a camera and speaking, this is still an action. It's still an action. It still takes some type of effort to keep the mind sharp, to even have things to speak about, to even set the camera up. We're humans. We never like doing the same thing over and over. I've said this before, consistency is boring. The path to greatness is boring. Repetition is boring. But you have to condition yourself, create an identity in your subconscious mind. This is the thing. We have not truly mastered our subconscious minds yet. Because of all the BS that's been put in front of us from birth, it's not going to be an easy road. Maybe it'll be easier for our future generations when we teach them the right way, like I was hinting at earlier in the video. But you're not that. You're not there. Now, granted, it's a fine line. It's a hard balance to find a way to not put too much pressure on yourself. You know, like, you don't want to... Some people just fold under pressure. They crumble under pressure. They can't handle it. Sure, if you're one of those people, honestly, I don't really know what to tell you, because this is the thing. If you're not disciplined, somebody that's really close to you or really loves you better be disciplined. Somebody has to do it. If it is a dynamic where you're actually really close to somebody or a loved one that is that person, the one, then you're gonna just end up being dependent on them. If anything, you should learn from them, because you know that's gonna give y'all even more power. Then y'all gonna have two people on the same side on top of they you feel me? Now, yeah, I'm trying to curse a little less. But I hope if you haven't noticed this yet, that maybe after this video you'll start to pay more attention to it. You can't just wake up in the morning and say, I am a multimillionaire, I am a god, and I have so much abundance and love and happiness, and then, you know, go do the same BS habits that you were doing a year ago, 2 years ago. And now this leads me to say this. The higher powers, whatever you believe in, like I speak about the higher self a lot. Your higher self, the angels around you, the divine power, we're always being watched. All the time. 24/7. Now, we're unbothered because we're living this experience. We're here to live out the experience. But you're constantly, everything that you're doing is being recorded. I shut off this camera right now. I'm still being watched. It's all being recorded. When you pass on to the next life, everything, you'll be able to look back at everything that you've done in your life and you lived in your life. So understand, when you actually, people say they want things, but they don't really want it. They just like the idea of the end goal. But it comes with other things. So if you really show with action and showing it, part of showing it is being disciplined, consistent over a long period of time. So when you really show that you really want it, there is the higher power, a divine energy that's gonna come behind you. It notices you, it sees you. This is why they say you get what you deserve. Because you're acknowledged. Nothing that you're doing, like, yeah, it might seem, or it seems like you're doing it in the dark. It seems like you're doing it in the shadows. But you're building on something. And on top of all that, you should be grateful of your opportunities. There are people in this world who were born to live a life where they don't even have a chance. They have zero opportunity. Zero. Or at the very least, their chance or their opportunity or what they have to do, they have a lot more in front of them, a lot more to face, a lot more challenges to get ahead of them than a lot of other people. So you should be grateful that you even have the opportunity, that you were given life, that you're here in this experience, that you have consciousness, that you're aware of self, and give back. How do you give back to the divine? By providing a service. Prove your worth. The problem is that the service that we've provided for so long wasn't really truly for our people as a whole. It was just for the wrong reasons. But now that we're realizing it, that doesn't mean that we lose the drive, the discipline. It's just about discipline. That's all it's about. Not doing what's bad for you, that we've been conditioned to do, that holds us back. and doing what you know will get you ahead. Don't fall for the movement that is coming, because then you will become dependent. It's coming. It's already started. But just remember that, family. Always look at the deeper meaning behind things. But that's all I gotta say for today. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. I love y'all.